Here's former UK PM Liz Truss warning us not to back Mark Carney. What does she have to say about it? Maybe we should heed these warnings.
Just wanting to get your thoughts on Mark Carney and your relationship with him while you were Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and any advice you have to Canadians who think he might make a good Prime Minister.
Well, Mark Carney was Governor of the Bank of England, and under his tenure, too much money was printed, which did damage to the British economy and put our economy off track. He, at the last election, endorsed Rachel Reeves' economic policy. She's now become Chancellor. It's been a disaster for Britain. The country is heading for bankruptcy. So I would strongly recommend not backing Mark Carney or his policies on net zero, which have been disastrous for Britain and would be disastrous for Canada.
Do you trust his judgment overall, outside of ideological considerations?
Well, I believe that he made major mistakes in the management of the Bank of England. He has pushed net zero, which has been a disaster, not just for the UK, but for many countries across the world.
Thanks for your time, Prime Minister. I appreciate it.
So he's basically Trudeau without mesmerizing hair. You know, it's not the same. It's just not the same. Yeah, Canadians would be very wise to listen to this. You know, maybe we don't want the, let's see, elitist, WEF, UN, technocrat, globalist banker. You know, maybe maybe that's not the kind of credentialism we need. In fact, maybe we should just forget about this whole credentialism thing. It seems like, you know, the last 5 years have done a bit of damage to things like credentialism and the word expert. The word expert don't seem to mean what it used to anymore. I think common sense sounds pretty good. It sounds good to me. I like the sounds of that, common sense. When you think about it, I mean, this is part of what they're trying to sell Mark Carney on, is credentialism. Look at all his credentials and all the foundations that he's been on the boards of. And he was, you know, head of the Bank of Canada and head of the Bank of England, you know, all this credentialism that's supposed to just awe us. And we're supposed to say, well, I guess he's smarter than us then. There are so many things today that you are much better off getting advice or getting an opinion from just anybody on the street than a so-called expert, right? If we're talking about gender theory, for instance, I guarantee you're more likely to get something that's at least somewhat more to reality from just any person on the street, or a 5-year-old for that matter, than a gender studies professor, than the gender expert that they're going to get on the CBC to propagandize you, right? Like, if you believe that there is an infinite series of abstractions called gender, well, your opinion has no value. Here's another one. Any economist who tells you that raising taxes on you makes your life more affordable, okay, can just immediately be disregarded. You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to respect their credentials. Like, we don't have to just be lied to by champagne socialists, by technocrats, by elites who are totally insulated from the consequences of the policies that they enacted, that they advocate for. Let's see. The British are sending us a stern warning. This is from Canada Proud. Do not let Mark Carney run our country. Let's see. From The Spectator, January 7th, 2025. The British are warning about Mark Carney. Mark Carney is not fit to be Canadian PM. I agree. Canada deserves better than this progressive twerp. I think we've had enough of progressives, right? The Telegraph, January 18th, 2025. A failed second-tier politician, former British MP Jacob Rees-Mogg. That was from 2018. Mark Carney wants to inflict these terrible ideas on Canada. We already heard from Liz Truss. Progressive twerp. I personally feel the Liberals do not stand much of a chance in any election until it's full of old school Liberals again. You know, it used to be a centrist party, Liberal leading, right? That was the Liberal Party. Now, Trudeau has told us they ain't liberal. They are now progressive. They are illiberal. They're an illiberal party, right? They are a radical leftist party. There is no arguing this. It's just clear. They've told us themselves. Do not mistake them for actual liberals. All right, let's see. Mark Carney, if you choose me as your leader, we offer Canadians a clear choice in the general election. That choice being more of the terrible things that you hate. But what are they saying? What's he saying? Experience versus incompetence. Really? Well, I mean, we're hearing from the UK that your experience is less than your incompetence. Plan versus slogan. I think that we know what the plan is. In fact, it's deceptively simple. Stop punishing Canadians. Get rid of the carbon tax. Drastic cuts to immigration, just to start with. Calm versus chaos. How do these... Where is the chaos? We're left without a government right now. Who's caused that? It's Trudeau. I mean, yes, we technically still have a prime minister, but functionally, not really. Who has caused the chaos? It's you guys. It's refusing to call an election. It's Trudeau refusing to call an election. They always accuse you of what they're doing. It's maddening. I just don't believe for a second enough Canadians will be tricked by this idiocy. Just cynical. This is just, you know what? Not even idiocy, just cynicism. I refuse to believe enough Canadians will be tricked by this total deep cynicism. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.